Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the words Spot Media. The Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, is recommending that armed security guards be placed at public hospitals. This follows a recommendation and a directive by the Health Minister to review the security arrangements at public health facilities. In recent weeks, there have been reports of verbal and physical attacks on health workers. NAJ President Janet Korfar reiterated the need to strengthen security measures at all hospitals.
Security guards are not armed, most of them. Maybe one institution has some security that is armed, but the rest of them don't have armed, and there's very little that the security in fact can do. I understand the concept of having a hospital without armed security because they don't want to put the patients and the staff in harm's way, having a security guard without armed. But
Health Minister Dr. Christopher TUFTON says $727 million was spent to secure public health institutions last year. $399 million was spent within the Southeast Regional Health Authority, which comprised Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine and St. Thomas. And the NAJ says its members have also received death threats.
There are threats all around. I mean, if a patient dies or what have you and the relatives don't understand what happened, the first persons that they're going to threaten is the nurse or the doctor. So we have had that kind of situation to deal with. And the general behavior of people now, I mean, crime and violence is a norm now. We have become a norm now, and I think we need to stem this.
The Northeast Regional Health Authority, NERA, is reporting an increase in the number of persons with conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye. NERA is responsible for health facilities in St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Chairman Tyrone Robinson said there has been a 10 to 14% increase in pink eye cases since January when compared to the same period last year.
In St. Anne, in 2016, we had 206. And now we have had an increase of 10%, which for this year, which is 228. In St. Mary, we had 163 in 2016, and now for this year we have 185. That is an increase of 13%. In Portland, it's a little less. In 2016, we had 97, and this year we have, for the same time period, we have 83, which is an increase of 14%.
Earlier this year, the Health Ministry alerted the public of an increase in the number of people with pink eye. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Winston Delahaye said cases were reported in St. James and Trelawney. And Health Minister Dr. Christopher TUFTON says public health officials are important in preventing certain diseases. Dr. TUFTON was speaking in Montego Bay, St. James at the Western Regional Health Review. Public health officials in the parish have been busy addressing a rodent problem affecting sections of the second city. Dr. TUFTON says public health officials should not only move in when there's a crisis, but prevent it from happening in the first place.
And part of that narrative is to say to people, listen, if you don't dispose of the garbage properly, then the garbage is going to pile up in places where it ought not to. In forms where are conditions that are unsightly and unhealthy, and frankly speaking, creates the breeding ground, creates the incentive, the motivation for rodents to thrive, to flourish, and by extension to create the risk of diseases that will affect all of us.
In other news, the opposition People's National Party PNP has indicated that within the next 10 days, it will be establishing an education commission. Speaking at the National Executive Council NEC meeting, PNP President Dr. Peter PHILLIPS explained that it will be one of the special commissions in the party.
The purpose of this commission is first of all to enable us to complete in our time the educational revolution that was started by Norman Washington Manley in the mid-1950s. which had the effect of opening up the educational system to people of ordinary circumstance, people from poor homes without the economic and financial wherewithal.
The commission is mandated to come up with ways to fix the country's educational system.
We expect this Education Commission, which we will announce, to look at the financing arrangements to ensure the educational transformation, to look at how to eliminate the difference between schools, what they need, so that we can raise the performance levels of those that are behind. And there's an important factor that we want them to look at is the quality of the curriculum.
Meanwhile, the opposition leader says despite the progress Jamaica has made to restore economic stability and increase growth, economic and social problems still persist. He says Jamaica is still a long way from achieving levels of sustainable growth. He said youth who migrate after leaving university can still play an essential part in the process.
Economy. The professional and business collaboration between Jamaicans at home and the diaspora assumes an even greater importance when we bear in mind the fact that some 75% of our own university graduates migrate. I don't consider it necessarily a problem once we recognize that the boundaries of the Jamaican nation are not restricted to just this little piece of rock that we call Jamaica.
Mr. Phillips added that the diaspora plays an important role in the international market.
The diaspora represents a vital market for Jamaican products. Indeed, were we to concentrate on supplying our domestic market and our overseas Jamaican market, then I am certain that the Jamaican economy could be made fully active and growth would be no problem.
He was speaking at the opening ceremony of the Jamaica Diaspora Conference yesterday. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern Fitz Jackson will be running for the chairmanship of the People's National Party PNP. The election is slated for October. Mr. Jackson last night confirmed that he is eyeing the post.
You are aware from sometime last year I indicated my intention to offer myself. I've had recent discussion with incumbent chairman, and it is the decision that I will proceed to seek the office when it comes up for renewal in the next NEC after annual conference 2017.
When contacted, PNP Chairman Robert Pickersgill declined to comment on the matter. Chaotic scenes at bus parks across 3 different parishes this morning as rural bus operators who travel to downtown Kingston vented their frustration at the government. Protests were held in Kingston, Manchester and St. Elizabeth. With the details, here's Simone Golding.
The public passenger operators are upset at the government for planning to move them from the current rural bus park on Darling Street in downtown to another park in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region, KMTR. The bus operators initially refused to leave the bus park on Darling Street when the KMTR park was built years ago. But now, the Transport Authority is insisting that they relocate, and it's angered motorists and commuters.
It's some diabetic, sir. I'm in the medication I'm in there right now. I'm sure that public I collect the medication right now. I see.
So from what time you're out here?
Out here,
Look on the back. You load from the back, load on my hand. I must leave from way up there and go way down there, sir.
They try to put JUTC bus down there and they want to go down there. And there's several taxis they try to put down there and they want to go. Why they want to put it down there? No, we cannot do it. You can people with them load from country. Cooper load, because remember people going to sell it. And we have to kill them with them plum, them mango, them yam and city. What am I going to walk from them with them load? We cannot do it.
So you see the bus operators are comfortable with Darling Street?
100%. They have their wheels, but 100%. 100% comfortable.
Mr. Knight is insisting that the KMTR bus park on Water Lane is not safe.
When they want to send it down the Water Lane, we cannot go down there. So. Security reason, right? The passenger don't go down there. Moreover, down there, they rob people and kill you.
Another bus operator in Mandeville, Manchester is offering a theory.
A suspected gunman was shot by the police in the Coronation Market in downtown Kingston this morning. His condition is not known. A firearm was recovered by the police following the incident. TVJ News understands that the man is a suspect in a triple shooting and was challenged by an undercover cop. The man returned fire but was able to graze the policeman on his hand. With crime and violence on the increase in St. James, the police launched a youth camp in the parish to get youngsters on the right side of the law. The 2-week youth empowerment and mentorship camp, which ended yesterday, targeted teenagers from 13 to 17 years. 75 young people from 6 high schools in St. James attended. Hibbert Nelson says he learned valuable lessons at the camp.
Benefit me a lot, like teach us not to be a criminal, not to engage in the criminal activity. Teach us discipline, respect for others and yourself. Teach us to know yourself, the purpose you're here, to learn and grow and everything. Teach us, no, not because of the community you're in, mean you have to follow up, people them in there, the bad person them.
TIANNA McPherson adds that the camp underscored positive values which she says are lacking among the youth.
They teach us respect, because today's generation, that's what we lack the most, respect. We don't have respect. So they teach us respect and how to be obedient to others. They teach us self-esteem and confidence, how to push ourselves forward. They teach us our purpose in life, to know what we want and our destiny of where we are going.
Hosted by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the camp, which is the brainchild of Deputy Commissioner of Police Novland Grant, it was held under the Identity, Purpose, Attitude and Destiny iPad for Life program. In sports, the RJR Gleaner netball team suffered their second loss of the season, going down 22-20 to Bank of Jamaica in the consolation knockout quarterfinals in the Business House netball competition at the Leela Robinson Courts. In a closely contested affair, the 2016 Intermediate B champions RJR Gleaner committed a lot of turnovers while missing clear shots. Despite the loss, they are hoping to improve their play when the Divisional League tips off in a few weeks' time.
What it called for was perfection. Could we have a perfect match? Oh no, we didn't. So therefore we missed some shots when we were supposed to shoot them. Defense and are really so close to getting those balls. We missed them, and man, those are gonna hurt, and they hurt because we lost by 2. But we have a great RG team. I mean, when I looked at how we played tonight, I'm like, we're going to look good in whichever zone they put us, and I think that's Intermediate A. So we say big up to BOJ. They did a great job, and we learned a lot from them, and we look forward to perhaps meeting them again.
In the last 5 minutes, it was just stay calm, keep our focus, shoot our balls. Whatever we could dig, we dig, and we dug deep and came out victorious.
Also advancing to Tuesday's semi-final were NCB, who tagged with Sinca 22-13, the JN Group, who beat Hardware and Lumber 19-11, and UDC, who stopped Grace Kennedy 21-14. In the Open League playoffs, ATL upset defending champions Ministry of Education 23-22, while former champions Scotiabank A doubled up on their B team, stopping them 34-17. And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of our news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.